All right, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Lemax Frankenstein's Laboratory. Let's get into it. Okay, Frankenstein's Laboratory. It was released in 2007 and is retired now. The SKU number off the top is 75501. And now for some dimensions. We have 8.39 inches high, 7.87 inches wide, and 6.30 inches in depth. Product type, sights and sounds, and it's made of what feels to me like porcelain. Now let's talk power. We have 4.5 volts DC and it draws about 450 milliamps. That is right, and that is a boatload. So if I was you, I would keep them off your multi-adapters, as it would be very easy to overload it if you continue to add on those adapters. It's always best, especially on a high voltage house like this, or a high draw house rather, to just let them be independent. It's just easier. You don't have to keep track of the milliamps and all that kinds of things, if like when you would use a multi-adapter. As for your switch, you're going to have a normal on-off volume roll switch. Now let's talk price. It was a little hard to find some information on this house. However, I did confirm it was $69.99 in Canada at Michael's. So kind of, translating for the US, it should be somewhere in the neighborhood of $49.99. However, today's price for a fully working one with the box starts about $190, and there were some that went way past that. So they have definitely gone up, but this one's a really cool piece, so it doesn't really surprise me. Lastly, the weight. It's roughly 2.5 pounds or so based on my estimates, and that about wraps up all of the facts. And now it's time we take a closer look. So there is a lot to see here, starting from the roof itself. My God, the detail is unstoppable here. And the lightning bolts are kind of the key feature there. They look really cool, especially at night, and they're like a neon yellow, but at night they just look fantastic. There's also a lot of like toppers and little fence bars, like kind of like iron is what they're supposed to look like. And these weird like voltage things, I don't even know what to call them, but they're just fantastic. And even the actual roof has really beautiful molded detail there. So the overall fantastic job on the roof. There's even some of those like gargoyles and things like that. I mean, literally this thing is fulfilled with detail everywhere. Okay, now on to the show itself. Frankenstein. That is right. He comes right on up. You got the doctor there and some really wonderful gear work as well. It's smooth and pretty quiet, all things considered. It's definitely not one of those things that would annoy you. You probably would never even notice that it's working, but my God, when those gears move and he comes up and you mix the soundtrack with that, it is like magic. So this is really the star of the show. Next up is there is a window on the second story as well with a couple items in it. Not too much going on there, but it's kind of a little effective way to use that section of the building considering there's such a nice show right next door. So to help kind of round it out, I thought that was a nice little touch. The window/doors, whatever you want to call them, are wide open. There's, some weird things going on in there. You're also going to find some more gargoyles and things like that around the second story and some fence work, etc. So beautiful second story. Now let's work our way towards the bottom. There is, again, so much to see with windows everywhere, including the main window itself that seems to have some kind of like potions and things going on in there. And if you really look inside, like onto the back wall, there's even like shelves. Now it looks like a sticker, of course, in the back, but there's like, little skulls and brickwork. I mean, it helps fill in the image and makes it a little more like have some more depth to it, if you will. Also, on the outside of that, you're going to see everything from a police officer to a bunch of sign work, and I mean a lot of sign work, and including right next to these beautiful doors. My God, I'm telling you guys, this is one of those pieces that when you see it in person, it just kind of blows you away. And to think that it was, $50 back then, today it would have been a lot more. There's also a lot of stuff on the ground as well. Everything from like tools to coffins and body parts and just really eerie stuff. This place has a very eerie kind of feel to it. And as you look around the rest of the castle, there is again wonderful brickwork and more windows and vines growing. I mean, there's a nice little staircase too. I mean, there's just, again, no matter where you look, we could be here all day just going over the detail itself. And the lighting, let's touch on that for a second. It's really effective with the Frankenstein. It's a little subtle on the bottom, but nonetheless, I mean, this is one of those pieces that, like, when you put it in, you're going to stop and take a look at it. I mean, this really is a beautiful, beautiful piece. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to hit the lights here in a moment so you can see it in all of its glory. But until next time, guys, I want to thank you so much for continuing to support my channel. And as always, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.